All right. Well, maybe I should have compiled everything into that one video I did about Pam already in regards to the credit card she maxed out for the salon in order to get her own business started. But reading through the comments on my episode review and live stream, there are some different perspectives on it. I saw one particular comment that mentioned something to the effect of Karen has no right to be going off, on Pam about those, credit card charges and the overdue amounts and everything. As a business owner, that's her responsibility to keep track of that. And why let Pam, her who's proven herself to be irresponsible more times than dependable, allow her access to the card to begin with. Now, those are fair points, but I think something to take into effect is another portion of the comment where it says that, when Karen had nobody to help her out and she was down, looking like she was down and out, Pam was there in the trenches for her when no one else was. And, during the 3 months between season 6 and 7, as she was getting the new salon put together, she probably did it without getting paid and whatnot. Now, I doubt that. First of all, that's an assumption because it was never stated on screen that Pam was not getting paid between the time the salon was on fire and burnt up to the time the new salon was open. Now, Karen already said in season 6, hey, Pam, because I know Pam, the first thing she asked, like, so when am I getting paid again? It's like, Pam, the shop is gone. Nobody's getting paid. Nobody's working. Well, I don't want to take another job. And it's like, well, I mean, you kind of have to, because at first, I think Pam said, well, if I had to, I'll just get another job. But then, if I remember correctly, I believe Karen was the one that suggested, hey, Pam, how about this? Let's start doing hair out of my apartment. And, Pam was like, that's some ghetto stuff right there. Basically, telling Pam, sending Pam like a list of stuff like, hey, I need you to get this, this, and this from the beauty store, and I'll start doing hair for my apartment. But then, the Brian factor kicked in for where, oh, well, I have an even better idea. Instead of repairing your old shop, this new place, I can get it up and working like in a month or two quicker than repairing your old place. So during that time, Pam was definitely there to help out Karen through it all. I mean, go back to the early episodes of season 7 when the new shop is being put together. Karen is very pregnant and Pam is the only one there helping out. Now, of course, there are no doubt, contractors and workers who probably, come during the day to put things together. But when it comes to like, just sweeping and putting the place together on the more decorative side, that's obviously Karen and Pam related. Between the loan that she got from the bank, because if I remember correctly, she got a business loan from the bank. But then in season 7, she went to get a personal loan as well because her loan was getting dried out and she got rejected for a personal loan. But basically, folks, I think Karen probably, and this, well, you could argue, well, Jeremy, you said there's no concrete proof that Pam didn't get paid during the 3 months. So how can you say that Karen gave her some money during the 3 months? Well, here's what I do know. Pam clearly has not stated she picked up another job in between seasons 6 and 7. She seems to have been fully committed to helping Karen with her new salon getting put together. And during that time, she started her own social media, no doubt in an attempt to raise awareness for the new salon in order to help get it off the ground. So I'm willing to bet, and again, this is just headcanon here, not confirmed, but given that Pam did not have another job, I'm guessing that during the 3-month period, for her being there, helping out with everything, I think Karen probably found some means of giving her some money. That's again, my personal headcanon. I don't think Pam just stuck with Karen without a backup job or anything out of the goodness of her heart. She did it because the only way Karen could keep her around and control her would be to slide her some change. I don't know if it was like a full-on paycheck, enough for her to pay rent or whatever. And maybe you could argue that the social media side hustle and, creating roots to riches was something she opted to do on the side, because remember, with the salon not open, Pam had a bit more time on her hands to kind of do her own thing. And, being inspired by Karen, rebuilding, well, starting her own business. And then when the business went up in smoke, she decided to start from scratch again. And I think that honestly, if Pam did try to find another job, she was probably on the cusp of taking a job, because it's like, Karen, I love you, girl, and I'll be down for you whatever, but I really need some money. 'Cause I got bills, so I'm probably going to take this job at another store or another shop. Because even though she didn't want, again, headcanon here, again, she probably didn't want to, but remember, she's like, I need the money for my own bills and whatever. But at the same time, she probably saw that Brian was, doing so much for Karen. She probably didn't feel bad. It's like, well, even if I do take a job for just a couple of months, a few months until the new shop is ready, I know Brian is going to, hold Karen in his capable hands. So I'm not really worried about my girl, because this dude is going above and beyond to fix up the place. But then, if I remember correctly, wasn't it like a few weeks or so, like a month or so into the construction, that's when Brian's wife, caused some issues because of wait a minute, you've been driving around town with another woman in the truck and this, that, and the third. And then Brian had to dip. And then that's when Karen had to find another contractor. So again, theory here, Pam was probably getting ready to work for someone else, but after seeing everything fall apart after Brian left and Karen was truly on her own, Pam probably opted to sacrifice, her own financial well-being by being there for Karen. And then in return, Karen probably gave her some money. Now, all that's to say, just because if theoretically Pam worked for free, or Karen did give her some money so she can sustain her living until the salon was up and running, I don't think that is enough to justify Karen just looking the other way, because Pam spent probably well over $5,000 on that company card, assuming that the company credit card has a balance at the very least as much as the amount that was run up in season 2 in Zach's name, which was at least $5,000. So, things like credit increases, payments, and things like that, it's possible the company credit card has gone beyond $5,000, but I'm just going to say it's $5,000 for simplicity's sake. So yeah, even though Pam was there, that's great and everything, but I'm still looking at it from the perspective of, it isn't just Karen's money that Pam jacked up. This was the salon's credit card, the card used to pay the bills. It's like, okay, well, let me see here. This credit card, I got it set up for auto pay for the salon's insurance, the rent, things like the electric and whatnot. So the credit card will auto pay everything. And then when I make money back from the clients that I bring in, then I can use that money to pay off the credit card, so everything's good. Pam messed up everybody's money flow. That's the thing. Because remember, even if Pam opted to, be there for Karen during the transition from one salon to the other at the cost of her not getting paid by Karen, or having to make, a side hustle here and there to, make ends meet on her end, that was just her money that she was semi-sacrificing to be there for Karen, in order to help her restart her dream with her, new salon. Pam, on the other hand, took the company money via the credit card to fund her own business. And by messing that up, that screws over the entire salon, not just Karen's livelihood. And the worst part is, this woman is, look, even though she has 2 willing and supportive baby daddies, she has 2 kids on the way. And Pam freaked up the company credit card at the worst possible time. Keep in mind, the grand opening, the power went off because the woman who owns the building is like, hey, your auto draft for your rent didn't go through. So unless you pay up like right now, this is the grand opening. Well, you're not going to have any power today. So Karen had to come out of her own bank account in order to make that money, to pay the rent. And then her mom had to give her a check later on. So basically, Pam, by screwing with the company money, she's putting everyone who works at the salon in jeopardy. not just Karen. Remember, even if Pam opted to help out Karen out of the goodness of her heart, that was just a sacrifice for Pam and her well-being. Pam messing up the salon money flow messes with Karen, all the other employees in the building, and to an extent, Pam herself. Even though she's quote unquote making money with roots to riches, but at what cost though, Pam? At what cost? I mean, you are messing up your girl's business. And the fact that, I'll let you borrow the money. It's just, I don't know. The writers have assassinated plenty of characters from previous seasons in this season, like Zach, Andy, making her just truly incompetent and weak, making Fatima just a punching bag. But I think what's even worse is that this was easily my favorite season for Pam. And with one scene so close to the end of the season, they just ruined everything. This woman being so full of herself that she feels like, oh, well, I didn't need to pay that money back. And, oh, girl, this is roots to riches. And, I'm making this money. You just a hater. No, that's like if, let's say, for example, you work at like KFC. Maybe not the best example because KFC is a, multi-million-dollar franchise versus Karen Salon, which is, barely hanging on by a thread, even without the roots to riches business screwing up her own business. But, like if you worked at KFC and, during your shift and on your break, you utilize KFC ingredients to come up with your own recipe for, I don't know, either dipping sauce or new flavor of chicken or whatever the case may be. And then you start selling it on the KFC menu and making bank. And you don't even think about the fact that, okay, I'm using KFC restaurant ingredients. I'm not spending any of my own money in order to do this. I don't have a license to, do this or anything. I'm just using KFC to distribute my own product made from restaurant products that I had no intention of, paying for. And then when your boss calls you into a meeting about this, like, hey, yeah, you brought in a lot of customers because it's new sauce, but you do realize you're doing this without, permission, and KFC isn't getting a cut despite the fact that your product is being stored in our fridge and other, storage units, and you're utilizing ingredients, and no, this isn't going to work. You would expect some sort of a deal to be made where money is either recouped or they come up with a solid game plan of, okay, you are allowed to use the sauce, but or make your own recipe for whatever it is, but KFC as the distributor gets a cut of it. And it's just baffling to me that it feels like just forced conflict for the sake of conflict. The fact that Karen never said anything up until this point. And it isn't until she has a desk full of past due bills that she finally confronts Pam about it. But no, folks, to be blunt, after a 13-minute video, I do not think that just because Pam has been there for Karen means that Karen should just, look the other way and for not even bother Pam about paying back all the money that she took from the company for her own business. I mean, now you could argue Karen is kind of getting a taste of her own medicine. The fact that Pam did wrong. And when confronted about it, she tries to emotionally manipulate the other person like, you know what? You just a hater. You never believed in me. You were never on my side. Now I'm doing a little something and you want to be jealous of me. Nah, okay, I see how it is. And then she was on her way up to leave. This is just how Karen does in terms of when she does something for other people, whether it be Zach or Andy or whoever. Whenever the people that she does something for doesn't agree with her on something or, wants to talk about how, hey, Karen, I really didn't like how you talked to me this, such and such a time. Karen always has to make it about her like, nah, you know what? You remember when you made me feel bad or, this, that, and the third, you give a half-ass apology. She just throws shade and walks out. This is kind of the same thing. And the thing is, nobody really tries to check Karen. And the same thing's kind of happening now because Karen should have nipped this in the bud with Pam a while ago. So In a way, it is kind of good writing, but on the other hand, it feels extremely forced, though. That's my thing. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Pam, you've been there for Karen for quite a while, and in some ways, I don't even think she would have made it this far without Pam. But at the same time, to get a new company started, and Pam does something as ignorant as this is just beyond me. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.